What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and of course you can tell by the title of the video, we're doing a little experiment, kind of a future what if, or what's going to happen type deal. We have the Super Bowl. I don't know if they've won it already, or if we need to, sim it. But, unfortunately, we will have a couple, I don't know if you can properly manage every single team, but there's obviously going to be a couple of, non-realistic things. Guys like Le'Veon Bell are going to be on the Steelers. I don't think that's going to change too much, because if they do end up getting rid of Le'Veon, I don't think they're going to take a running back super, super high unless somebody slips anyways. So I don't think that's going to be a huge factor. I'm trying to think if there's any big names. We got rid of Cobb because there's a very good chance that the Packers are not going to re-sign him. And then Clay Matthews, I don't really know. I really don't know what they want to do with him. He's kind of an all-time guy, and it would be kind of nice to see him retire with us, but he was making so much money over the years, so I had to do this a bunch of times. I messed up quite a bit. Hey, the Rams 3 points. That's nice. And I know it says Mike McCarthy, but I really don't care to change all of them. I think that'd be just too much. I think I just downloaded this. We're going to see how this does. If it's not good, I'm just going to not do it. Kyler Murray is in this, so if it's good, we'll maybe use this in the future. It's kind of a newer one. Obviously, so many different mock drafts. Obviously, there's going to be people that you obviously know are top 20, top 30 or whatever, but there's going to be people that are like, man, this guy sucks. Man, this guy's really good. A guy that's going to go 7th round this year could be one of the best players of all time. So I'm not going to judge it too much as long as we kind of have a pretty obvious basis. So the Packers go T.J. Jones, Jeff Huberman. This would be a very disappointing free agency. I will say, though, like I said, I messed this up a few times, so I accidentally did this a couple times. Morgan Burnett gets re-signed by the Packers quite a bit. So who knows? That might be a sign. I should have taken a look at the rest. Luckily, I still can. Taking a look at league signings. So Marvin Jones went with the Bears first time. This time he's going to go with the Saints. I think that's a little overkill. I don't think they would, especially if they are bringing in Dez. Jets, Jay Ajayi, that makes a lot of sense. That could fit. Dolphins, if they have a lot of money. Jason Redd, they do need a corner. Golden Tate to the Cardinals. They obviously need some more weapons. I don't see them going with a quarterback. Everyone's like, oh, Kyler Murray, man. Okay, you're going to just waste Josh Rosen that early. Not even give him an offensive line or a couple of weapons to work with. Tevin Coleman to the Rams. Once again, that'd be super overkill. Darby to the Jets. Obviously, if you got tons of money, you got to spend it somewhere. Robbie Anderson, that would be a really good pairing with Hopkins. Dolphins get Clinton Dix. I don't know why I put so much emphasis on sorry. Mo Wilkerson, I feel like he could re-sign with the Packers, but we'll see. No real crazy big names. I don't think Lynch is going to come to a different team this late on in his career, but you never know. You just never know. Dez Bryant went with the Dolphins. Ty Montgomery to the Falcons. All right, so, there you go. Obviously, we want to see what the draft is like. We're not going to personally draft the Packers. I've seen a lot of mock drafts where there's top 10, a lot of pass rushers go. It's kind of the way it is in the NFL in general. The Packers need pass rush, simply put. Cardinals, #1 overall, Dwayne Haskins. That would be a really rough one. The Niners obviously have Jimmy Garoppolo. Don't really need a guy like that. I'm going to take a look at this. This is a Bleacher Report. What is it called? A Bleacher Report mock draft that I'm going to kind of go off of. The first, pick, it was supposed to be Nick Bosa, according to them, to Cardinals, which it makes sense. I don't see them going with, what is it called? I don't see them going with a quarterback again. DT, a lot of people are saying Jets go DT here. Devin White, that's quite a bit of a reach. I feel like that's a little high. Let's see with the Raiders want to take. Left tackle, Jonah Williams. Kind of makes sense. Offensive line is definitely aging. But they did just lose Khalil Mack, so Rashawn Gary they expect to take in this mock draft. I would say pass rusher as well. Buccaneers, cornerback. Instead, they go Nick Bosa, which makes sense because, once again, a guy like Nick Bosa slipping to 5 is a pretty big slip. Giants, this one has Dwayne Haskins. Do the Giants go QB? They go Greedy Williams. It's a little high, but a corner, good corner is not crazy to go by. Wide receiver to the Jags, which does make sense. However, I would assume at this point the Jags are done with Bortles, right? They can't just keep working with Bortles. Lions, some sort of defensive lineman makes sense. DT probably makes a little more sense. They did get Damon Harrison though, so that's a pretty fair, assessment. Can't be really being wrong. The Bills, obviously, Darius isn't even on their team anymore. Yeah, their DT is a huge need for them. A big win there. Obviously, kind of undersized, but he's a freak. So things happen. Things happen. The Broncos also go DT. I think the Broncos would go with a wide receiver, though. Number 11, cornerback for the Bengals, William Jackson. Do they really need a corner, though? I don't feel like they actually need a corner that badly. Okay, they need a corner really badly. And Janoris isn't even on their team. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually, at number 11. The Packers here, my favorite team, of course, are going to go with a left guard, Cody Ford. I don't know about that. I think with pick 12, if you're going to actually keep it, which, you could trade down again. It worked out pretty damn well the first time. You got to go pass rusher. I know a lot of the big names are gone, but still, you got to go pass rusher. TJ Hawkinson, one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end, going to go to the Dolphins. That would make a little to no sense. Didn't they go Gesicki? I'm pretty sure. So I don't know about that one. Falcons, linebacker, definitely makes sense. I think a pass rusher could really work for them, but they probably believe in Vic Beasley still. What else do we have? So the Falcons, they do have an edge rusher for them. What is it called? Redskins, another edge rusher, but of course DT in this draft. Panthers with a pass rusher, that is definitely something they need. Offensive tackle on this one, I don't think that Bleacher Report, has that one wrong. I don't think the Panthers are going to go OT. I think they really need a pass rusher, especially at the retirement of Julius Peppers. The Browns tackle, I could see it. They already have a great offensive line. Baker Mayfield's the future. They've got some decent enough wide receivers. I think if you don't go wide receiver, I think tackle would be a good decision. Maybe cornerback, but tackle, the Browns are actually pretty damn set, if we're being honest. Obviously, offensive lineman for the Vikings makes a lot of sense. Let's take a look at what the Titans are going to get. Brian Burns makes a bit of sense. Steelers safety makes a lot of sense, of course. Could use a DT, of course, as well. That would be a huge steal. There's no way Gary is going down to the 21st spot. I don't even know why the hell he's all the way down here. It appears that he has him pretty highly valued, too, 81 overall. There's no way Gary's reaching that far. I'm just telling you right now. Not a chance. Not a chance. Metcalf is, I believe, the first receiver off the board. The Ravens almost have to take a wide receiver, and that makes a lot of sense. So, that's probably go Harry instead, but it's a good pick. Texans probably would take an offensive lineman. They're desperate for a line. Raiders, good pick there. That's one of the picks from the Mac trade. The Eagles with a wide receiver. I think cornerback with the injuries. I know they have a lot of upside, but I think cornerback would probably be their move. Colts wide receiver. You could always use more talent. Raiders, they obviously need a wide receiver. They lost Amari Cooper. Jordy Nelson probably won't return. Chargers, offensive lineman, no question about it. Pick 29, Chiefs with a cornerback. Makes a lot of sense. Or a middle, and to be fair, a linebacker would be nice for them too. Packers, what is this going to be? I would expect this to be a wide receiver in real life. And they're going to take a safety, which makes a lot of sense, actually. So, that's a really smart pick too. And then we had the Patriots. I gave the Patriots the win, didn't I? I don't even understand, but the Patriots get Harry, which would be a huge steal. And then the Rams get a tackle. Of course, now we're going to sim to the end of the draft. We're going to take a better look at see, what teams maybe got a steal, where some of these quarterbacks may end up going. I can't remember, some of the big names. What do the Giants go with? Do we remember? I think the Giants went with a corner. So the Packers draft recap. They end up with Chase Winovich in the second round. Quick dev. Looks pretty good. A little on the slower side, but definitely a steal. They go with a backup quarterback, Ryan Finley. I think, in fairness, we probably will take another quarterback. I don't think Kaiser's the guy. Sharif Miller, another pass rusher. Can never have enough, especially on the Packers. Another running back. I think, last year we didn't take one. I think we like what we have with Aaron Jones and Jamal, but I think it is time to get another one in the draft. I think DT probably gets taken a little bit higher, especially if we don't re-sign Mo Wilkerson. And then a lot of linemen in the end of the draft makes a lot of sense. The only thing that I don't agree with is no wide receiver. I think the Packers would take a wide receiver around the second or third round at least. Maybe even 30, depending on who is there. So Josh Allen has superstar dev. He's sick. 89 speed seems really fast. Look at Devin White, super fast too. Let's see, Nick Bosa, superstar dev, right? Yeah. Greedy Williams, superstar dev, beastly player. Dwayne Haskins. I was about to say, I don't feel like that would be a super. I feel like it's a star dev. AJ Brown, star dev. Doesn't seem like he's overrating the devs that much, which is nice to see. A lot of mock drafts have us taking Farrell, so I'd be pretty happy with it. I'll say, bit of a steal here for the Broncos. They haven't had a really good DT in a long, long time. It's been a very long time. Let's see what Metcalf's looking like. Star dev. What about Harmon? Please don't tell me all these guys are okay. So Quick, that makes sense. Paris Campbell, Quick dev. What else? So the Deontay Thompson, star dev. That'd be a nice player for the Packers. I would love to see it. Harry, star dev, makes a lot of sense. Cody Ford for the Packers, star dev. Looks pretty good. I mean, the Packers obviously need a guard, but I don't think it outweighs the need at coverage linebacker and pass rush linebacker. I think that just the linebacker core in general needs an upgrade. If we don't target someone in the free agency, you got to go safety as well, which obviously we addressed there. The Bears, even though they traded away, did end up with a cornerback. Julian Love makes a bit of sense. Kind of just looking at teams that maybe got a steal. DeAndre Baker. Bengals, of course, they needed a cornerback. It makes a lot of sense. Guard. Eric McCoy. In Madden terms, probably some of the guys are a little bit too high of an overall. Just once again, Madden terms. But that's obviously what that is. Ed Oliver, quick dev. It kind of makes sense. He's been falling down the board quite a bit lately. Mike Weber. I wish Mike Weber was that fast for us. He was not that fast in our Chargers league. Yeah, I don't think I'll use this one in the future. I think he, at least for, like I said, Madden terms, he's overrated them a little bit. Kind of want to see where the main named guys go though. Draymond Jones, that'd be a freaking nice steal. And I'm sorry if I say any of the names wrong. If you want your name said right, actually spell it right then. Damian Harris would be a nice little steal for the Bucks. They could really use that too. That'd be a real huge steal actually. Mac Wilson, that'd be a nice pick for the Cardinals. Cardinals are in a really bad spot. They really need a lot to turn things around. Kyler Murray, I don't know why I said Murray in the third round to the Dolphins. I feel like he'll definitely go a bit higher than mid of the third. The speed, man. I'm really hoping they take him with pick 30, the Packers, but I just don't. When you have crazy speed, especially if it turns out well on the combine, it just doesn't last. It's gonna be, you're gonna be taken. It's just too much potential. Everyone wants the next Tyreek Hill. Who doesn't? Everybody wants him. Superstar dev, Devin White. Probably a little bit too high a dev. Obviously, speed can make up for the lack of necessary skill, but I don't know. I think it's a little high of a dev. We're going to take a look, though, how it changes the NFL. See who makes the playoffs, who really benefits from their team's, draft. James Williams, it's all the Packers need is another Williams at running back. Plug and play guard. Wide receiver, like I said, I think that needed to be one of the things addressed, and it just wasn't. Cobb returns. Clay Matthews does not. Kevin King, I always thought he had a lot of potential, but if he can't stay healthy, that goes right out the window, doesn't it? The Packers make the playoffs, so do the Giants. So let's take a look. MVP award for Patrick Mahomes back-to-back. This is what the NFL is supposed to look like, apparently, according to Madden. Patriots 8-8. Them missing the playoffs would be kind of interesting. I know anything can happen, and it might not even be Brady's fault, but I kind of feel like if they went 8-8, Brady would really, take a look at retirement, honestly. Of course, he might have retired, and that's the reason why they're 8-8. I have no clue. But these are, of course, all the records. I'm not going to go super in-depth. Vikings at 5-10-1 would be hilarious. Bears at 8-8. I mean, they kind of had a chance to do that already the way it was. Rodgers, a pretty damn down season. If that's a season he has, then yeah, I'm going to agree that he's taking a step back. Who the hell did we get again? We got an offensive lineman. So offensive lineman, he was really bad technically. 8 sacks for a guard is not super great. So let's take a look at the awards, and then we'll try to look individually on who won what. Haskins was 8th best player in the NFL. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. Kyler Murray at number 2. Almost called him Murley again, which is interesting. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Devin White. Quarterman, Pratt, DeAndre Baker. Some of the big names in the first round aren't even really the guys that are being noticed here. Mac Wilson, he was a second-round pick, basically a first, though. You know, some interesting names here. Like, I don't even know if I've seen Bosa on the list. Offensively, I'm just not seeing the crazy names that you would think you would see. So that's very interesting. So taking a look at quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, passer rating of 106.8, 4,300 yards. That's very good. Any other quarterbacks started that were rookies? Kyler Murray, of course, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks, 3,300 yards. Pretty damn lackluster, to be honest. Let's take a look at some of the running backs now. Josh Jacobs started for the Raiders and did very well. Damian Harris, the Buccaneers, 911 yards, 5 touchdowns. Brissett for the Chiefs. They probably will end up taking a new running back. Will he start? I don't know. But 630 yards, 4 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 470 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Williams, 439, 3 touchdowns. It makes a lot of sense for the Packers running back to kind of have lackluster numbers, just kind of sharing the ball. We're going to go by yards. Obviously, you know, yards usually does equal to receptions anyways. Numbers kind of low, honestly, kind of low. Riley Ridley to the Vikings. That would be a pretty interesting decision. I don't think they would go with him, though. 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. The best of the rookie wide receivers. Aaron Fuller, 975, 8 touchdowns. I really don't see it, to be honest. The Giants taking a wide receiver and just starting them and getting that many results. I don't know. Brown, that'd be a little bit of a lackluster season. 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Noah Fant actually had a really good season. The Texans, makes a lot of sense that they would get him. They haven't had a good tight end in a while. 820 yards, 5 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Looking around elsewhere, I'm not really seeing it. You know, Metcalf, not really a great season. Not really a great season at all by many. Dillard, 16 sacks allowed. That'd be really sucky for them. You know, we're seeing some pretty high sack numbers. Not, you know, the biggest names in the world, but a couple of rookies not having a great season. Anyone with really good numbers, though? Really looking mainly for tackles, because guards usually do have the lower stat. You know, guards and center and all that usually have lower numbers for sacks allowed. So let's go by tackles now. Devin White with 134 tackles, 1 pick. Mac Wilson, 133 with 0 picks. A lot of tackles there. Quarterman, 125. Juwan Young. Let's take a look. So obviously sacks is probably a number we really all want to see. Let's take a look at picks as well, I suppose. See if any of the youngsters. Not a whole lot of high numbers. Greedy Williams with 4 picks. That's obviously going to lead him to a very high overall. 92 overall already. Byron Murphy. Let's call him Brian. Let's take a look at sacks. Kyle Van Noy with 17. That'd be quite the interesting thing. Looking around, Farrell with 10 sacks. 94 overall. Looking sharp. Josh Allen, not a great season by any means. 7.5 sacks on the season is pretty damn bad. Brian Burns, 7.5 sacks. Any other big named guys? I'm not really seeing any good numbers at this point. Mac Wilson was actually really solid for them. Let's take a look at like deflections, I suppose. Not really good numbers. Catches allowed, low ones. Well, it's kind of stupid. It should only show like actual coverage guys. Did we have any rookie kickers or punters that started? John Barron II, 14 for 17. Cole Tracy, 12 for 17. Not a great season at all. Punting. Not a single rookie punter. And that's pretty much it. Those are the numbers. Let's take a look at who actually wins the Super Bowl with their newfound drafted team. And the winner is the Falcons over the Chiefs. Usually we don't see that, that early on. The Falcons actually haven't really been in the playoffs a whole lot. I mean, they usually get like 1 or 2 Super Bowl seasons in a 10-year span. Really only 1, and it's very rare. So wild card, you had the Browns versus the Bills, Falcons versus the Saints. Chargers versus Steelers. Packers versus the Giants. Dallas beats the Packers. Houston beats the Chargers. Falcons beat the Rams, and the Chiefs beat the Browns. Chiefs versus Houston makes sense. Dallas versus Falcons. It could happen. I don't think the Falcons or Cowboys are really that ready to make it deep into the playoffs at this point. Falcons versus the Chiefs. So I think this divisional was a very good divisional round, and then it kind of took a turn for the worse. I really think it did. But that's pretty much that. That is what the world looks like. We'll take a look at some of the overalls now. Try to quickly glance. I don't want this video to be too long. So Haskins, 82. Kyler Murray, 81. I keep calling him Murley. It's annoying, man. It's pretty much all there. That is Josh Jacobs, of course. A big overall boost on the season. Super good. A.J. Brown had a pretty damn good overall bump. DJ Metcalf, same with him. Noah Fant, he had a pretty good season. I don't even know if he started with Star, did he? Might have, actually, but very good season. Jonah Williams, 87 overall. So we're seeing a lot of the, according to Madden, a lot of the guys actually go up pretty well, and it turns out that it's a pretty good first-round draft. Let me know who your favorite team is and who you're really gunning for, who you're really hoping for. Obviously, you could say it if you want, but don't be like, oh, I'm hoping the Patriots take Nick Bosa. Like, the Packers are at 12, and Nick Bosa would be insane to get. So, it'd be crazy if that happens, but obviously it most likely won't. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I was looking, trying to think of ideas for experiments and what ifs and whatnot, and this is what came to mind. So that's what's for today. Tomorrow will be a rebuild of the Jaguars, so that should be a fun one. If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe follow me on Twitter at Jeromepkr. If you have any suggestions for experiments or what ifs, let me know in the comment section below. You'll basically be featured in the channel. Kind of a little shout out. I know it's super lame and nobody wants it, but I appreciate you for watching. Hope you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see